Hey, welcome back to another YouTube video. Welcome to my channel. What I decided to do today, because it's a pretty late start and I didn't do any recording of me when I was out on the roads today, and it was a pretty busy day. I decided to go through a list of topics that you folks have suggested that I do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to touch on a few of these, just give you a little taste, and then I will do some individual videos, maybe another question and answer session. But stick around. I've got my coffee. It's right in here. I'm not pretending. It's really coffee. And we will sit down here together, have a coffee or a tea, or maybe a cold one, and we'll go over the different things you want me to talk about. Stick around. Okay, I am going to touch on a few things that quite a few of you folks have asked me to touch on. There's one gentleman here. You'll know who you are. One Mashed Life. He's asked me for quite a few different things, and so we're going to touch on a few of those here right now. But one of them that he wanted me to touch on was also about a CPAP. I do use a CPAP machine, and I will do a full video on the different models that I've had over the years and the one I'm using now. So we'll touch on that, and I'll just do a quick video. Maybe I'll cover 2 or 3 different topics. But a CPAP machine is a pretty good unit if you have sleep apnea. It's not always for people that are overweight. It could be just people that have breathing issues at night, and they snore, and their back of their throat relaxes and they have issues. So we can touch on that. Another person was asking about moving to Edmonton versus moving to Calgary. So that is something that I can touch on. I've been in Edmonton since 1985, and I've been in Calgary before as well, but I haven't lived there. But I can touch on the differences and whatnot. I know that Calgary has been more expensive to live, but it's kind of a nicer city overall, I think. Closer to the mountains, nicer rivers flowing through the city. But I'll do a little bit of research, and so give me a little bit of time. I want to cover some numbers for you. Edmonton is nice. I've been here, but I do prefer Calgary, even myself. Another one that somebody was asking about was retraining and responses from employers. I do have some screenshots that I can give you. Basically, when I've applied for positions over the last few months, I would get a rejection, and of course they never said you're too old, we don't want you, but they have said that we've gone in another direction. But I can touch on that. I have taken some retraining. I took some courses on my own, including forklift safety and operations, ProServe, Protect, which is you have to take these courses if you want to work in an environment where alcohol is served. So I've taken that training here back in November, I think. I even took an air brakes course in August, and I still have until August to write the test. I was going to get my air brakes. I have a Class 3 driver's license, and I can drive like gravel trucks and concrete trucks and whatnot. But I need my air brakes, because I did take air brakes back in 1999, but for some reason I did not include it when I got my license. So I've had a Class 3 driver's license, but I don't have the air brakes endorsement, so I have to get that. So if I do choose to drive a gravel truck or something, not that I probably won't. Another one was interesting stories about growing up. That was One Mashed Life as well. I do have some pretty interesting stories. I have lived quite an interesting life back in the day. My mother, for instance, was married 4 times, and so my siblings are only half siblings, and we had a big ranch, a big piece of land. We had 440 acres up by McBride in British Columbia, on the side of a mountain. If you remember the old TV series, The Waltons, and they had Walton's Mountain, that was kind of us. We had a lot of land, and but my mom's first husband, he died at a young age, only 35 years old, and the way he died was kind of a sad situation, but I can touch on that. And then she hired a hired hand, and through that situation, I was conceived. But I can go on that. I'm not opposed to sharing my story. Maybe it'll entertain somebody or brighten someone's day. My fortunate or unfortunate circumstances, it is what it is, right? Somebody also wanted to know about stories on camping, etc. Where I go camping, what type of camping, car camping or van camping as opposed to being in a tent, laying on the cold, hard ground. But also what I call glorified camping or glorified hiking. You folks in the United States have what they call militias. Well, here in Canada, everything's illegal. I'm probably breaking the law just talking to you right now. But really, I was part of a group of folks that did some activities like orienteering and shooting and still all kinds of things. And everything individually was not illegal, but when you put everything together, it could be frowned upon, right? So that was something I was involved with many years ago. And I'll talk about it. I won't name names or too much information, but I can share some information. I've got some great photographs I can show you too. You won't even recognize me. So let me know if you want to know more about that. Somebody else asked about step-by-step on how to start a YouTube channel. That's my good friend Anne. Anne, if you're watching this, you comment a lot, and I really appreciate you. And you're from South Africa, I believe you said. So I can put together something on that. I mean, look at if an old guy like me can put together a YouTube video, anybody can, right? Somebody else was asking, Lauren was asking about what my wife does in her job. She's an educational assistant. They used to call them teacher's aides, but educational assistant is what they refer to now. And she does a lot of things that a teacher does, but quite often she will take control of troubled children, or what's the proper term? I'll think of it, but and she looks after the children that are special needs. I guess special needs children, right? I think she ranges from grade 4, 5, and 6 is what she kind of specializes in. But we'll touch on that. Do you want to hear more about that? Let me know in the comments. Another gentleman was asking about maybe a day of eating. When I was doing strongman, and I will probably get back in the gym and do some heavy stuff here pretty soon, but I could kind of do a day of eating type thing. What I was doing, kind of how I was eating, and a lot of protein, a lot of bulk. I think I gained about 12 pounds in a month and a half when I was going to go from one competition to another. I was a heavyweight. I was 271 last year when I was competing in a strongman competition as a novice, and I felt that I just needed to be bigger and stronger, which helped me in the static movements, but in the moving things, it actually impeded me. A lot of that body weight went to my midsection, not my shoulders. So things like grabbing a 200-pound sandbag and running 30 feet and then throwing it over a 56-inch bar, I was slower at that than I should have been. I think being a little bit lighter but still keeping my strength, I would have done better. So I can do something along those lines. Let me know if you want to know, if you want me to do some kind of a day of eating, or grocery shopping. I myself actually find it kind of relaxing watching videos of other people, what they do out during their day. So I can understand if you folks enjoy some of that. But again, let me know. This video is more for my regular viewers, people that will watch what I talk about and what I do. But another one was how I met my wife. I did touch on that a little bit in the video I did the other day out at the park where I talked about Frank and the statue where he's sitting. You know, his statue's been sitting there for 20 years. He passed away. But what did I say? What was my pickup line? Who wants to know what my pickup line was? I think it was really good, actually. I may have mentioned that before, but if you haven't watched the video, I can tell you, don't just say, "Hey, baby, how you doing?" You have to have something that's original, I guess. So I've got that. And then I just had a few more here that I can touch on. How about escaping the rat race? You know, we should. The rat race is, you know, you're working your 40 years, you buy the house, you have raised the family. You're in the rat race. You've got that mortgage. We can go on and on about that. So I can talk about escaping the rat race. Not that I have done a very good job of it, but we'll touch on a few things. You know, do as I say, not as I do. We can talk about Canada today versus the 1990s. It seems to be around 1995 is when things kind of went down as far as things. So also talking about saving for a rainy day. You know, some advice. I can tell you some things that I did that were not the best, and then some things I did that were. There's 5 ways I'm better off being fired, or not working a regular 9-to-5 job, I guess. Because for anybody new here, I do gig work. Documenting my journey to reinvention. I'll have to put together something about that. I have to think about it. Life advice from a 60-year-old. Hey, I can give you life advice of things what not to do, right? And then if I could go back to my 20s, 30s, and 40s, you know, I've touched on my advice to people who are in the 20s. You know, travel, do some traveling. One thing I didn't do when we were growing up, when I had my son, is we didn't take any video. We didn't take any video of him when he was a child, and I regret that. We've got lots of photographs, a lot of still photographs, but no video. So I would highly recommend anybody that has children, take video, because that's so precious. Yeah. So that's a few things here that I can talk about. I want to go to a dog park this weekend, but I also want to go and show you a little tour that I'm looking at. I think you're going to really enjoy it, and we'll touch on that. Maybe into West Edmonton Mall, show you some of that stuff. What I think of West Edmonton Mall today is how it compared to how it had been in the past. So I got a lot of things to talk about. Plus my other serious stuff. This is all entertainment, but then I have my other educational things as well. So I haven't forgotten. But this video is already 13, 14 minutes long. So I'm going to end it here. But if you like what you see, like listening to me or seeing my face on your television screen or your computer or your smartphone, then give me a big thumbs up. And say hi in the comments, and also just comment and you know, give me some ideas that what you'd like to see. I will be doing some of these videos here over the course, and I might combine a few things, a few topics, because if I just talk about one thing for 20 minutes or 10 minutes, that might be boring too. So, but we'll figure things out. One other thing I'll just kind of briefly show you is apparently I got paid from Google, so it said its check is on its way, so we'll find out. So, hey, if you stay to the very end, write Google in the comment section, and then I'll know that you actually stayed to the end. Okay, have a great day, great evening, or great morning, and we will talk to you in the next video. Cheers.